Hello folks, I hope you're all doing well. We are down here in the greenhouse and another beautiful day here in Scotland. It is absolutely tipping it down. It's horrendous. And for the second week in a row, my usual Sunday morning trip to the allotment has been thwarted by the rain. So let's do something that'll cheer us up a little bit and look at some seeds we can get on the go in November. So first up, two different types of sort of greens that we can get on the go, although the first one here, the pak choi, is in fact red pak choi, but there it is there. Great time here to grow pak choi. It doesn't like it when it's really hot because it'll bolt dead quick. Get some on the go and it'll do really well at this time of year. Next up, some lettuce, and this one is green thankfully, and this is Arctic King, a good sort of hardy frost resistant variety that'll keep growing at this time of year. Admittedly, you know, things at this time of year that don't grow as quickly as they do in sort of spring and summertime, but it will grow loads of it so you can pick and come again and keep going with it. And speaking of greens, here's some pak choi I planted earlier. This is to go up to the allotment to replace the ones that are already there. And one thing I don't have seeds for at the moment because I've used them is this, and look at it, this is Mizuna, and it is growing wonderfully. It is growing really well outside. The replacement plants here for the crop rotation in the greenhouse are growing really well, and my father-in-law Brian gave me some Mizuna in a pot. Look at this, just some Mizuna seeds in a pot with some spare bubble wrap around it, and it is absolutely thriving, and that'll go great guns here in the greenhouse over the winter, and that'll just keep coming and coming and coming. So pop down here on a lunchtime, snip some off, have a bit of green in a salad, in a sandwich, whatever. Absolutely smashing. And what else have we got? Spring onions. Now you might be thinking, but it's not spring, and indeed it isn't spring. But if you are lucky enough, like me, I am lucky to have undercover space, like here in the greenhouse or the polytunnel, get some spring onions on the go, because let me show you these. Here's another one I made earlier. It's like a second episode of Blue Peter. Here are some spring onions that I sowed earlier, and they are desperate to come out of these little cell trays. And I was planning on putting them up at the allotment, and they'll survive over winter, ready for an early crop next spring. But what I'm going to do is I've got these pots that I've never used yet. You can sort of see the size of them there. Look next to my head what sort of size they are. And I'm actually going to transfer these spring onions and grow these in pots in the greenhouse. And much like the good old Mizuna here, if it gets too cold, I'll just come out, I'll use a bit of bubble wrap or a bit of fleece over them, and hopefully we'll get a crop of spring onions all the way over the winter. But we'll see, bit of an experiment, nothing to lose other than one packet of seeds that I got free on the front of a magazine. Next up, another little bit of a gamble is some herbs. Now you can still grow herbs over winter, and I've got two different, oh, there's one for the outtakes. Let me just pick that up, and I've got two different types. Let's pretend you didn't see that. Two different types here, and we've got basil, two different types of basil. This one is basil lemon, and this one is basil sweet. Now again, I'm going to have these in the greenhouse. I'm going to be using coverings, keeping them nice and toasty warm. I mean, as soon as the frost gets to basil, it'll probably just kill it off. But you can grow these inside as well. So if you've got a nice bright windowsill, get some little plants, some little plant pots in there, get some basil in there, and you'll get a crop throughout the winter. Much the same as this. Two different types of chives. We've got regular chives and we've got garlic chives. Much the same as the basil and the spring onions. Going to do exactly the same, growing them down here in the greenhouse. If it gets a bit cold, we'll put them under a nice toasty blanket and we'll see how we get on with them. And what else do we have over here? Things I've never, well, I've done one before, but not the other. So, early peas, these ones here, Kelvenden Wonder, are a great variety for starting off early and keeping in a greenhouse or a polytunnel over winter. If you don't have somewhere under cover to keep them over winter, don't sow them yet, wait till next year. And I'm going to be careful with these because this is the packet I used last year, so it's open at the bottom, so I'm trying to hold it up. And some broad beans there, and these are Aquadulture Claudia. Now, about 2 years ago, I did overwinter these, and I overwintered them outside up at the allotment. And they survived and they did well. There was frost damage. I remember there was frost damage to the outside of the leaves, but they survived and they did well. I think if temperatures get really, really low over winter, like down to the sort of almost minus double digits, these will take a hammering and they'll probably die. If it's just going to be, you know, single figure, -3, 4, 5, or they'll probably survive and do okay. But again, if you've got somewhere undercover, greenhouse, anything like that, do them there. If not, wait till next spring and they'll do just as well. Getting those sorts of things started this time of year just gives you a little bit of a head start when it does come to springtime next year and gets those crops on the go. One last thing to mention is, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on onions and garlic. You've still got loads of time to get onions and garlic on the go, absolutely. But let me just show you how mine's getting on. So these are about 2 weeks on, and as you can probably see, there's still not much on the go. Remember, this is a variety called Shensu, and just this one here, and this one here, this one here as well, actually, you're just starting to see the green shoots on them now. So that's about 2 weeks that's taken. And this is an unheated greenhouse, so there's no sign of any heat in here. And much like the garlic, there's no sign of any shoots on the garlic. I can see they are starting to root. So ones like this one and this one are starting to push themselves up a little bit. So there is roots coming out at the bottom. But now is the time of the year, if you want to do them over winter, get your garlic, get your onions in, and get them on the go. Remember, you don't have to do them set. A lot of people have troubles with onions set and them bolting when the weather warms up. You can get Shensu onion seeds and grow them from seeds, and they're probably a lot more resistant to that warmer weather next year when it eventually comes. Anyway, that's me just about done for today. Please think about liking and subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you subscribe, just click the little button down below and that will help you to subscribe for absolutely free. Anyway, that is me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, folks.